Elizabeth, I just love the way you speak so comfortably about faith and about how it guided you first to vote for and work for Donald Trump, and now how it's guided you to the polar opposite in Joe Biden. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yes, and thank you, Nicole, for having me on, because this is such a topic that weighs heavily with me and I'm very passionate about. The first thing is that I would say it wasn't my faith that led me to vote for Donald Trump. It was fear. And it was fear that was perpetrated by, or I was led to that fear by Republicans, by conservatives, and by Donald Trump, that I needed to vote for Trump. Otherwise, really bad things were going to happen. Abortion would go up. We were going to turn our back on Israel, and we were going to lose religious freedoms. And that I really voted out of that fear, not out of what Scripture was commanding. And over the course of the last few years, in particular, coming to the realization that any naive hope that I had that Trump would rise to the occasion, that his character in public maybe wasn't what we would see in private, all of that proved to be wrong. Came to the realization I couldn't vote for him just purely on the grounds that he can't do the job. He's dangerous. And that comes from that national security background that I have. But once I came to that realization, I had to struggle with what I thought my faith taught, and it forced me to go back to Scripture and really kind of have my eyes open that, in fact, what Scripture teaches doesn't align really with either party. But in this particular election that we're facing right now, you see out of Joe Biden a much more a biblical character of what God calls us to in leadership than I see out of Donald Trump. And look, I am pro-life, but I have become very passionate about a holistic view of a pro-life ethic. And that means addressing the systemic racial injustice that we've all become aware of. It means addressing what happens to a baby after they're born and making sure that both the mother and the baby have the chance to thrive in life. And it means addressing the horrible, horrible things that we saw at our border and child separation, that, as Charlie Sykes put it so well in your last segment, it's just morally repugnant. And there is no scriptural basis that the state gets to intervene in between a family that God created, absent the life of the child being endangered in some way, and certainly that the justification in the moment was, well, we're prosecuting these parents because they've broken the law. But the more that we've learned about what happened, it was very clear that the point of these separations was to be a deterrent effect. The point was not the supposed zero tolerance policy. The point was the actual separation, and that's just so devastating and from my perspective, damning of a conviction on this administration. And they've lost their moral compass at this point. And so from the faith perspective, it becomes very easy for me to support a Joe Biden over a Donald Trump.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.